I was
I'm like,
like, damn.
I'm trying to give him exposure. I'm trying to have a good conversation, and I'm the enemy here.
That's hilarious. All right, I'm live. Go ahead and do
Why
it.
isn't this guy showing an altcoin? Exactly. I wanted to know when Moon too. I was just like you know. So when I rip people and I talk shit about people, I'm allowed to because I've been there.
All right.
So all right. So are you live now? Because it
Um,
still says I'm live.
yeah, you're live. So hit raid and put me in there, and then do it, and it should send
All
everyone
right.
over to me,
Let's
and we can
figure this
change the
out.
screens. So backslash raid IT nightmare incoming. I can chart until my son's ready for me.
See, it says pick a live channel to rate or host. When I type Winternomics in, all I see is me.
It should be backslash raid, and then you should see me at Winternomics.
There we go. There we go. Rating your shit right now.
All right,
About
takes
to
a
wreck
second.
it.
Don't turn off your live stream. It'll tell you like when it
No, I'm
finishes.
not going to mess with
It takes
anything.
yeah, it takes a minute.
I'm about to wreck you. Right
So
now.
we'll do some trendline stuff. We'll talk about trends and things like that. And
All right. So, all right. Pre-morning. See, your shit says Cardi B. Crypto Cardi B.
no, I think you got rated. Henry popped up here.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
did
No,
you?
we're good.
Oh,
We're in here. I'm just saying the title.
oh,
It
got
says
you,
you're
got you,
live.
got you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's right. This
Yeah,
is a
work.
fucking
All right, so we made
title.
it work.
Cool, right? It's pretty neat.
Yeah,
Even
but
for us old parts.
I still think they see me and not you.
No, they do. So right now it says KJ rated my channel, and everyone is popping on my station now, so I can see. So they should be on your station. They should literally be seeing my screen layout changed, where I have to chart it now. They can see what I've got.
Okay,
Hey,
see,
what's
I
up,
can't
guys?
see it. I want to see the chart too.
Okay,
Well, they,
so you need to bring up the station. You'll be on a slight delay. Let me think. Is there a way that yeah, you can only watch it through Twitch to see it because well, while it's live, yeah, go there and just bring up the window
all
and
right,
then
that's not too bad. That's not too
turn the
bad.
volume off because you can see what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
I just muted it. Can they hear me or no?
Can you guys hear KJ? Yeah, they hear you because they heard your question.
They hear.
Yeah, they hear you. So yeah, you're on my layout now, which is just me in the chart because it doesn't. We don't have a way to capture the cam to come over here. So we're cool. So
Yeah,
you're in here in voice.
they can hear me. All right,
Salt
cool.
season. What up? LTC bearish the spot. What? Yes. Cucker. What a great name. What up, Infinity? That's what up. Throw some fucking bits at
They
me.
can't see
That's
my
what
pretty
up.
face. That's right.
System 3. Do some bits. Much respect. Infinity. I saw some go by the screen. They're going too fast to see who's doing what. Mad love. Always appreciate the love. Can't. It's going
Little
too fast.
merman says we're getting better at Twitch. We're getting better.
Okay, hey, merman told me I got to pay attention to this. Mike Bird, thanks. I didn't realize that was a thing. I'm old, man. We're old. We need you guys to help us out. We're
See,
grandpas at this shit.
we switched to your stream and we have less viewers now. Is that a
Oh yeah,
thing?
it's some people port, some people won't. It's all good, KJ. You're running the numbers. I only got 13 viewers, it says, but it's a delayed thing. It tells you later. It says you rated 150, and then it will like, I don't know. It went to 211 viewers now.
It's funny that you know crypto Twitter will be sitting there like sucking their own cocks like about their old calls, but they're gonna get real knowledge here. Not one. I haven't seen one person that's like got followers in this chat.
That's
They
what's
will
up.
not do it.
Unmasked
They will
Peter
not
Parker,
do
what's
it.
up? Hey, we got 211 live right now. That's my highest ever. Appreciate
That's
y'all.
all you guys need to know. All these people that are like shilling shit and doing their pay groups and whatever, like they think they know more. You know what I'm saying? But they don't.
We're gonna give you information that you don't have to pay anything for. You can watch us live. Decide if you want to subscribe for rewatching things. But we'll give you a framework to kind of get you going in the right direction that you don't have to pay a dime for, and you can get yourself meaningful results, and then from those results decide if you want to go further with things. I think a lot of people sell basic information back to people that really is bullshit, and so I'm gonna start doing some things on some basics out here on Twitch to help you guys. And today we're gonna talk about like trend line basics and understanding just how to draw a trend. So just price chart stuff. That's relatively simple, but can make a huge difference in the way you look at price. My time is short. I'm gonna have to probably run to pick up my son from the movies and things, but I'm gonna sit here and go through a couple things with you guys. We'll look at Bitcoin and some of these wind moon fucking bullshits. Appreciate all the bits getting flung at me. I feel like a cheap prostitute right now. It's really cool. So
How many viewers do we have? Because mine's saying 27. So all the viewers are leaving my room and going to yours. Is
Right.
that
So
what's
now
happening?
if you so now you can kill your stream, and then because you
Uh,
ported
uh,
it, so it should be done. So it's got 192 here. It's moving up and down. It's like 192, 208 something. But
so I can stop my stream then.
right. So all the viewers are basically in the raid. It sends everyone who's watching what we're doing. They continuously see stuff. They don't see a break. It just moved over here.
You know what?
So
I'm not gonna mess with anything because you know I'll
well,
probably
you're
fuck it.
you're streaming your remainder of your conversation in that show, so you can still have a conversation with me on the charts. But to see the charts, it's on this side. So it doesn't matter. You still have your own version, your own viewership that would see it that way.
Bet.
It's a two-part piece, but whatever you want, just because it's most of what's on the screen and the
I'm
comments over
just
here.
scared I'm gonna get disconnected and we're gonna derail the conversation. So I don't
Oh
want
no,
to fuck
your
with.
audio, you're here in call in Discord. You can just hit end, and you're in my audio now. I have
Right.
control of your convo, so you're good.
All right. I'm shutting it down.
What's KJ's Twitch? KJ, can you put your Twitch, or Henry, if you have it, can you link
It's
KJ's Twitch directly into?
real Korean Jew.
Just type it in, bitch. I ain't gonna type
It's
that.
so funny when you don't know how many times I get like, "Are you really Jewish?"
A
So
Korean
if
Jew?
anybody if any of the viewers want to test my Judaism, want to test my nachas, now would be the time. If you have any questions for me to prove to you that I'm a real
Test your
Jew.
what? Your Nakas? Is that what you just said? What the fuck is your Nakas? Is that a fucking like Yiddish thing? What the
Just
fuck is
dropping
that?
Yiddish. I'm dropping Yiddish
I
on them
know,
right
no
now.
Yiddish word when I hear
So,
it. Boy, it's fucking funny.
like Henry likes to say, if you know, you know. You know what
Uh,
I'm saying?
he just asked, "Are you real Korean?"
Am I a real Korean? Yeah, that's probably the real question. Um,
I
yes,
thought
I
that
am.
was without a doubt, son.
Damn right. Like, play me a StarCraft. I'll show you what the fuck is up.
Oh shit.
I will wreck
Um,
you.
link got deleted. What link got deleted? Oh, it auto deleted it.
See, I knew I shouldn't have fucked with it.
No. It auto deleted my link in the chat box because the restrictions to people post like spam links. I had to put it in there myself.
How do I see the chat? So I need to
Oh,
open
it's
up.
on the side of the screen on the Twitch when you go there. So just it's the side of it. I think if it's not expanded, there's one arrow that does it. Here, I'll do it. It's
All right, I got it.
he says
You
twitch.tv.
got 216 watching you right now.
It says real Korean Jew. Is it real Korean Jew trading or just real Korean Jew?
See, this is crazy. I don't even know. Real Korean Jew. That's it.
There it is.
Yeah.
To save him.
Are you
231.
circumcised? Yes.
Well,
Yes.
that's just awful. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Now I
sauce.
have to burn this whole stream with fucking fire, bro. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Dude, he's cool. I want to know him, but I don't need to know him any better than that. I'm down with his Jewishness and his fucking, cosmetic surgery to his fucking special member. All right. You guys are fools.
It was your question. Yes, it was. I see the chat right
Jeez,
here.
did somebody ask a question that we all want to discuss instead of fucking KJ's member? Sweet Jesus. So meet up in
My
Jersey.
number.
We should have a meet up in Jersey when I come up there.
Yo, you should. You should, man. Why don't you come up during consensus, bro? Like,
I gotta
let's
come
do
up.
something.
I'm still a single parent.
Yo, I know
I gotta come
you're
up with
Jamaican. Like, do you know how to like dance hall wine? You ever seen them videos where like the
Oh, dude,
Jamaicans where they do all that extra shit?
we're
Is that
all
you?
we're all born as natural
I
rhythm
have a
motherfuckers.
feeling Kaz can't dance.
Oh
Like,
fuck
I just have
that,
a feeling.
bitch. Now we're all born as natural rhythm. That's one thing you won't catch me.
Yeah, you could do it.
Bitch, I can shake my ass to the best of them. Fuck.
Who's your favorite dance hall artist?
I'm not actually the biggest dance hall fan. I'd say like,
What?
and the genre of like Jamaican music I like is like slower pace, inner
You
circle.
like roots?
I like
You like
like
roots?
mellow reggae. Like Damian Marley got as crazy as I care to really
Roots.
listen. I'm not really in the faster pace of music and the style that evolved that way.
You don't
And
like music that sounds like sex.
I don't like that speed of it. Reggae always calmed me down when I was a kid. I like slower pace of it, like that slow
Like
rhythm.
Beres Hammond,
Any of
that
that
type
stuff.
of
Inner
thing.
Circle, Barris Hammond, Bob, any of his kids, before it got to like the screamer
Shabba.
place. Yeah, not Shabba.
India.
I wasn't a Shabba fan. I'm not a Shabba fan. But
I
yeah,
fucks with like Bounty Killer.
I like modern guys. I like some alkaline shit. I like Movado.
Mavado is the man. I fucks with
World
Mavado.
Boss is obviously fucking ridiculous. His shit's fire
Fires are dope.
in prison, out of prison. He's the fire as shit. Um, but
What about
Ravas, yeah,
Capleton?
I'm
You ever hear him?
Jamaican.
You ever heard
Yeah,
of
yeah, love
Capleton?
Capleton, love Capleton,
Capleton,
love
that
Sid,
motherfucker burn you. He'll burn your whole venue down.
love Sid,
Fire,
love
fire,
Sizzler,
bud.
love
I like
Sizzler,
that shit.
love Capleton, love all them dudes. Yeah, a bunch of that stuff, hot as fuck.
You gotta come to New York. I'm gonna take you to the lit party, bro. I'm gonna
I'm
take you.
down.
We're
All
gonna
right,
pop bottles. We're gonna do it all. We're gonna
pop
do it
bottles.
up.
I'm not that guy, you know. I don't
No,
picture popping
I
bottles.
know, I know what you're saying. But
I'm actually
but we
rather
still no,
conservative
no. You
these
gotta
days,
come
you
to New
know.
York. We gotta have a party. We gotta have a good time,
Well,
man.
that's been fun. Yeah, yeah. I'm just rather conservative these days, but
All
yeah.
right, dude. Yeah, no, you're low key. You gotta wear the. I want to see you wear the mask in the club,
You
like
think I
literally.
will, motherfucker? You better believe I will.
I
I give no
it's
fucks.
gonna be so lit.
I give no fucks, bro. So,
All right, so let's give them the signals. Let's do the charts. I'm having too much fun.
look at this. And that right there, it froze. Hold on, I'm about to fucking relaunch it.
Uh,
Yeah, it's pretty weird
people
when
be
it's like
like, yeah, averaging in my shorts right now.
yeah, shitting your fucking pants right now. That's what the
with
fuck you're gonna be doing.
with a okay. Okay.
Alright, I gotta think of how to get this Chrome to stop fucking doing this weird shit. There it goes. Okay, it's moving again. It just freezes and Chrome
No,
goes
I'm not
crazy.
drunk. I'm just having a good time. I'm having a good time. I
So
never I never get to talk to Kaz about this type of stuff.
let's pull up let's just pull up BTC. Let's get a non lined up chart real quick. Mine didn't draw all over.
Who is still shorting?
Uh
Spiry. He's
Spiring.
averaging into his shorts. He's
Average
still
into
averaging.
that, right?
The
Waiting
best
for
was when we dipped from like when we dipped to like 4,800. Like if you want to see who's wrecked, look to see who was like celebrating, like who was like
oh my
super
god. It
happy.
was so fucking funny. Like bro,
Like
I was
they
like
got some relief. They got relief there, and like they were super happy. And it was like, hey, oh, I think I want along this now.
so trend lines. Let's get a bigger time frame. This one has too much T out of it already. Let's get something a little less. Just the basics of trend lines. You know, I see a lot of people on Twitter talk about like wicks, no wicks, and shit like that. I've got some trend lines on this chart already. I think there's too many. So let me go out of time frame. And you know, trend lines are really simple, but really effective way to keep a guide on price. And most people don't draw them properly. As amazing as they are to be simple, people fuck them up a whole lot. A lot of people debate whether you draw trend lines through wicks or not. The reality is a wick on another time frame is a whole bunch of candles. So a wick on a daily chart could be a fucking shitstorm on 10 minutes. So you don't ever exclude wicks because this is just a candlestick in a specific time frame. So it's really retarded to, you know, imagine that, well, on this particular time frame on a daily, I should leave out the wick that's occurring. You know, oh God, this thing always forms where I'm going. It's amazing. Like right here, right? There's no logical reason you would ever leave that out. Because on another time frame, who knows how long it was even down there before the recall happened? You lose a lot of information. Possibly a lot of people ejected in the volume climax that happened with it. So it's illogical to do that. Um, Trend lines drawn properly should include all things that are materially important to price, which is including the wicks and whatever occurred in whatever time frame created it. Uh,
Message.
huh? What's
I said
that?
message.
A properly drawn trend line that connects the tips of the wicks is always going to be important out in time. So like this guy, when I connect the wick properly, and I want to see what really happens along it, look, his behavior is perfect. He marks really the fucking end of the trend perfectly, as long as I don't leave out parts of price. Many people try to draw through the price to try and get the trend line to fit their biases. That is my cat destroying things. Ivy, the fuck is that? Are you serious? So disruptive. And she knows it too, that's why she answered. Um, so let's just turn off this volume profile that's blocking up half the price.
Ivy.
Ivy's fucking relentless. See that trend line? It might be a little too small. Let me make it bigger. Well, it's humongous, right? So a properly drawn trend line doesn't leave out price. You know, people see this thing arcing away. They're like, well, I wanna capture more of this. Well, you draw a different trend line. You don't force the price to fit your trend line. You let the price do what it's going to do because all of the information here is important. and price is geometric, so this shit will matter later if it's drawn properly. You absolutely don't leave out wicks, and that's one of the things I see people
A
do.
lot of people will use Wix. Sorry to interrupt, but a lot of people will use Wix and say, "Oh, that's an outlier," and they'll find
Right.
a narrative for the reason for the Wick. Yeah, what you're saying is that price action is important, regardless of what people are packaging as the reason for it. It
Right.
matters.
This wick shooting up here on October 16th, right? The reality is, like, when people talk about a wick like it's something extraordinary, it's just a lack of understanding of what a candlestick is. You know, if I take this down to a 3 hour chart and just go back to October,
So I remember that Wick. That was when Bitfinex went down for maintenance, and it pumped crazily.
right, and
Now you're
hashtag
saying
right.
that, regardless of what happened, it still matters.
Well, because if it fucking knocked people out of their positions, right, then transactions are in the wick. So why the fuck would you discount fucking knowing about it? That'd be a terrible fucking idea.
Mm.
So we go look and like if you got people fucking crippled on the exchange and you fire it through the fucking ceiling, guess what happens? You dump a shit ton of people. You want to leave that out? Somebody's got a position there. That's
Mm.
absolutely huge. And just because you fucking it's happened in a moment, look what it did. Look at the size spikes, 40,000 points on that. You want to actually delete that because you think it's a black swan? You're an idiot.
So many TA guys told me, like, let's ignore that.
Yeah, because that's a moron who thinks it's part of some pretty fucking can we read in a book. Bro, that's absolutely fucking executions. Are you insane? Look at the wicks. The wicks are where the biggest volume is. You want to go ahead and delete all of the biggest volume spikes inside this graph and think you know what the fuck is going on afterwards? Price is volume and fucking it's just volume and price. Let's go ahead and delete
Wow.
half of the equation. Hell no. It's a fucking terrible idea. And even tells you it's a fucking idiot. Tell him to go play in traffic. That's a terrible fucking idea. Right, when you look at all the climaxes, all of your lows and your wicks in either the spike highs or spike lows, they're being set with humongous volume. Absolutely, something crazy is happening inside of it. So you track that and you never leave it out. I know we used Facebook once in an example. I don't know if I still have like lines on it. Let's see. Yeah, this is the example I did for you guys. We talked about price as a story of people, and just because I have the same annotations on it, I'll just keep this chart. Let's see. And so let's look at like trendline projections and stuff like that. Rule of thumb when uptrends and downtrends, right? Really simplistically, an uptrend is a series of rising lows and rising highs. That's it, right? An uptrend is nothing more than your highs and lows in a rising fashion, like so. And your trend line should connect to the lowest low and the highest low you can connect to without passing through the price, right? So if like say this one had actually gone here, you can't make the trend line fit the other two because you think it looks neat and skip this guy. You will have to redraw your trend line to account for the anomaly. So it's freehand, but you get the idea. You don't pass through the price to get it to fit what you think looks right because you're going to miss, obviously if this is a wick area and there's huge volume in there, you've missed a really key part of the price structure that's going to throw off your geometry. So that's a bad idea. So like here, we look at this, and if we want to connect this trend here, we can only really go, and that guy, like, he looks like an anomaly. Like, you'd be like, well, it's almost a perfect fit like this, look. But you don't do that. You don't throw this out because somebody got fucked. So we'll leave this here, and we're going to extend him outwards. So we can see what happens in the future without looking ahead of time and see how his interactions are. Right extension, and a good trend line that interacts, that could be all shoot up for me. But I will get a good explanation before I wrap this up for you guys. So extended him out right, and let's go ahead and look at like how he interacts as we go forward in time. What's going on? And so here he is. You have a perfect trendline retest onto this angle and on here, and an accumulation and a break back above. And when he lands, he stalls on it. So the angle's perfect from when we were looking at way back in time. And where do we draw that from? We do that from an uptrend angle that starts in 2013, and he doesn't have interaction again until 2018, and that's fine. That's the angle that this one particularly matters. But that's when you have good geometry, it'll always have relevance later when price interacts. So we can go in and look at this guy in intraday and see how well he interacted with our trend line when he came back to him, 5 years later.
So can you tell it's bullish because it's not visiting that trend line?
Yeah, and at that particular trajectory, he's bullish on that angle. So that matters. The trajectory of price matters. There's the speed of price is a thing. In bull markets, they're moving parabolic structures, so a straight line doesn't really capture that. That's when you start dealing with speed angles and things like that. So this is the same angle coming down. And if you remember, we had worked out where our volume zones were last time. That's where this low point came from. This was in the last video where we talked about prices of story of people. That was actually Shadow's Revenge of Shadownomics. He went over angles in the story of people back in January. This is the same chart he worked on. So we look at this and we see the first contact coming down on our angle. It's this right here. And so we have good interaction with it. It comes down in a huge drop from all-time high and stalls on there. Fuck, this happened. Sorry. So you get one really good contact here, a gap off the angle, crashes under it. You have a perfect retest right there. Shows good interaction. You have a second perfect retest, like literally to the penny on that one. And then you get this accumulation zone and a gap back through it. So you've got two clean gaps on it, right? Gap right here and a gap on the right side. So that's good interaction. And you can make swing trades around something like this, whether you're going to put stops into this guy on a breakout buy. This is kind of shitty. Probably want to wait for a pullback and try to find better risk, on something like this. The gap is going to give you too much of a range to define risk. Don't do what you're about to do. Oh my God, always in the wires. She's so fucking innocent though. She's such a darling. Alright, well, attention whore. You can hang out for 2 seconds with me. So good angle drawn, with all price included, not violating the wave structure, is going to have geometric significance with the price in future times. And this will allow you to have, more accurate levels to plan swings around, depending on, is Facebook going to stay under this? Is he going to stay above this? What have you. In this play beneath it, you could have waited for a structure in the very first breach. He got through it, and he gave you a second. Here, let me change my colors. He gave you a second fucking structure under here that you could have played. He never really gave you one. He gave you a setup that never violated, but he gives you one here that violates and then allows you to play on it. And he comes into this one if you're going to do trend lines like I told you, right? Same thing. Take the guy that'd be a wick on another time frame and keep his angles clean, and then let him violate cleanly the geometry of this up wave, and then play on here on another resolution. Maybe you have 10 minutes or something. But you can set up swing trades once you have good angles, whether it be horizontal or your diagonal ones. And your diagonal ones are very important. As you can see, this is a diagonal resistance, and it's really key to the price 5 years down the line from a daily chart just drawn properly. In this up one you see even here, right, this up wave of the bear flag, it's drawn properly. You have the same thing, right? You have really solid interactions, literally to the penny, if you draw them properly. See the same thing that we saw before? Perfect interactions. You want to be able to see that. Perfect interactions here too when he goes through and counterweights before he gets wrecked. So the geometry, the angle of your price needs to capture all of the actual available data, what's included, to have relevance out forward in time. So that's like a simple on trend lines. There are a lot of people who actually recognize that that's important. You can't subjectively twist it through the price because you need to fit what you think you see. What you see is correct, and you need to draw the trend line accurately, and it will be relevant again when it's supposed to be. It's not going to be relevant because you draw it in an angle that makes it relevant. Right? This is the correct angle I can draw it to keep my rules correct. I can't angle it up here to get it through this because later I'm going to have problems with the actual correct interaction. This is what it looks like, and that's what I'll deal with until he comes back to interact with it. You don't force it to fit price, you let price fit it.
So that second yellow circle on the green side in the middle of the
Right.
screen, is that a sell signal because it hit that trend line?
Not in that of itself, but if you're going to deal with it on a session basis, then that is
Uh,
actually a session. Sorry. So if I look at it on a session basis, he hits it on the trend line and he spends an entire day in accumulation and he gaps down. This could be like just as if they had the whole sector week on that particular day, that's March 6th. There might have been a pullback in the whole market. On a gap down from a consolidation of a parabolic like that, yeah, he's got a crash cycle structure. You could brick him on the opening of the down bar. You wouldn't have to chase him in here and wait for it. You could let him prove himself and come off of it and start the reaction, the recall from it. Um, you never have to be at the tip of the spear, but how you make your trading plan, I'm not telling you what you would have to do. Are you swinging this on the time frame I was just on, an hourly? Are you scalping on a 5 minute? That's going to dictate how your trading plan works with playing an interaction on a trend line. I'm just showing you how to find the trend line interactions with reliability by making sure that your angles are correct by accounting for all available information in the price so that your geometry is correct. How you trade off of these things, that's obviously requires specific strategy. See if you forget it. So I haven't read any questions. Give me 1 second now. Okay. I gotta leave here in literally 5 minutes. So let me turn these lines off. Let me look at some questions. I know this is kind of quick,
I
but
think people want to know about BTC, to be honest, because
BTC.
BTC is making a move right now.
All right. So BTC is making a move right now. Yeah, I know. I saw it pumping. Got more salt in the market. What up? What up? Um,
More salt. Yeah, so like you see this whole trend line. Like go to Twitter and see who out there is doing this wrong. You know what I'm saying? I
pretty
guarantee
much
there.
most of crypto.
Notice how we haven't seen anybody with a big following or anybody with a big account or even a medium sized account in this chat. But if I do a Telegram, if I do what Periscope, I'll see people pop up and say what's up. People with big followings. But for whatever reason, if I do something with you, nobody will show up. There he is. Crypto guy says fuck off. See?
I can't even catch up with this fucking chat.
Yeah, there we go. There we
uh,
go. We got one. We got one. I mean, anybody that's serious about being successful, I don't see why they wouldn't be in here, to be honest. Because
Most of crypto's trolls, man. I'm not even worried about the guys. The guys who are interested here are real viewers that come for it. That's who we care about. And the guys who trolls, they catch, they
the
catch the
reason
bait.
why people wouldn't is because they want to live in their bubble and they want to be their own experts on something that they're not an expert at.
Right. They'll come watch this and steal it and go back and sell it in their channels. And that's been going on for the whole time I've been in crypto.
Gat throwing 1 or 2 BCC. I mean, listen, that was a year ago, and that actually marked part of the bear market. I've thought about that moment at many times, where that kind of created an atmosphere, and he caught a lot of shit. I did a real talk with him, but still, at the end of the day, people have done worse things and got away with it, and you know, it's kind of interesting because they look at him as somebody. They compare that. Hey, that could have been me. I could have made a lot of money. I could have did this.
We're
And
gonna we're gonna do a link to the Discord, not in this one because I'm gonna have to leave literally right now to go pick up my son. So we're gonna do actually probably the next show if I do one. And we'll figure it out in a good spot where you don't know it's coming.
if you're not gonna do another one with me,
Huh?
you're not gonna do another Rekt hour with KJ.
Oh no, they're just asking for a Twitter Discord to come chat in the Discord that I have. That I said I'll throw out in a different show because we're running out of time in this one for trying. But yeah, fuck yeah, we'll do this again. This is fun. We do the house just like this, and we'll either KJ's channel or my channel. But yeah, come to the shows, and we'll definitely have it become a more fun environment for you to learn here, do this. Really appreciate everybody that showed up. 280 viewers. I hope you learned a bit about trend lines. Really important, and looking at price to learn how to use those to keep track of the correct angles in the time frames that you're charting, and learn to respect all price wicks in different time frames aren't wicks. So your perspective matters. Don't let people tell you ridiculous shit like that. That's just a person who doesn't know what they're talking about, and you don't want someone to set your foundation with bullshit and let you try to build a trading plan on bullshit. So we're gonna help you guys with some simple concepts that usually get fucked, with all the false gurus that can set you off in the wrong direction for quite some time. A trend line 5 years later that's often a couple degrees is going to be meaningless, and you won't know it either if you don't have someone to tell you up front you can't draw it that way. So as simple as this seems, it's really important in understanding price to understand how to properly just actually view a trend. BTC, I know that's what all you crackheads are here for, so let's look at BTC and see what he's doing. Which I know I have
too
on
anxious
Twitter.
to hear.
So BTC, let's get some of his lines. He looks pretty good to fucking possibly keep pumping out of the structure. He looks just like he did on the first bull wave, dumping really hard, freaking people out it's over, and then pumping again, right? They have a vicious kind of kickback move. It fucking mind fucks people. Come on, don't be frozen. Let me get to a hard time scale.
Yeah. The dump to like 48 something was a mind fuck. Like, you know how you could tell, because I DM'd you and I said, "How bearish is this?"
Yeah, I knew when you said that. I actually, trust me, that one made some rounds. They got freaked out.
Yep, that was the sentiment right there.
Yeah. So back to the future.
I know it was, and I was like, I looked back and I was like, "Ah, fuck,"
So back to the future. That was a 4100. Told you we're not bullish until you cross 4100. Ta-da! We crossed 4100, right? And so we had the right amount of salt from our time correction. Need enough time for us to have enough salty fucking pussies out there to really give us the pump we needed with their fucking blood in the streets like Spirey. You need that shit. You need that dumb motherfucker to sacrifice himself, right? What did Ross Gerber say? Someone's got to die for Bitcoin. Well, Spirey fucking died for Bitcoin. And that's why all kinds of bitch-ass racist haters died for Bitcoin, to feed this pump and feed all of us. And that's what it is, right? Somebody's got to lose money, and it's usually your dummy. We needed time. I told you it was too soon when people got there to 4100, too bullish too soon, and it took some time. Gave you a good clean shockwave underneath the level, and then you got your salt built up, and all your trolls and all your dummies on crypto turned stupid, and then boom, here we are. So as for right now, every idiot who said all of 2018 hodl is now out there crying about it coming down because they're not in it. That's the nature of markets, right? The people who died on the other side saying hodl all the way down are the same jackasses telling you now to fucking wait for it to go to 2000 as it leaves you in the dust. Litecoin, I mean, be serious. This fucking thing is coming off of what? Fucking 23, and it's hit 100, and you're still not sure yet. These are the same morons. If Litecoin popped $4 off of 40, we'd go ultra back. Now have a fucking 5x, 4x, and can't figure it out. That's dumb money, right? That's also the guy holding down 50% who's like, oh, you're going to have strong hands. He's just an idiot.
When rug pull, sir.
Right. Some people are just stupid, and you just have to recognize
the same guys that are saying short BN, right?
Yeah, some people are fucking stupid, and you have to be able to say that. If a guy keeps saying the same fucking thing over and over and it keeps being wrong, like, how dumb are you to keep listening? You're an enabler. When we talk about shitty people in crypto or hackers or all this stuff like that, if you don't say shit about them, you're worse than that guy. And if you're dumb enough to keep giving an audience to a motherfucker who's wrong perpetually, and you keep getting fucking wrecked by it, you're dumber than the dude saying it. You either have the right answer for this or you don't. When the fuck is winter? If you fucking saying it this year where Vinny's saying it, you're the dumb money. There's not a different way to sell yourself out of it, right? Vinny's call is at the red line. Vinny's call's at the red line, and the end date forecasted in May 2017 for fucking winter's end date is literally fucking 1 month after. He's on the 26th of November and the end date's the 27th. He is literally the dumbest fucking sack of fucking protoplasm in the entire fucking market. And he's just fucking wrecked somebody's financial life one more fucking time.
Sauces, don't forget about Gaff. You gotta get
Yeah, I know. No, he's at a movie theater. I'm gonna go meet him up there and pick him up. So this is, this in a nutshell. Where was winter's real start date? Let's not kid ourselves. Winter's start date is December 16th, 2017. The dead top candle that we gave it to you on. And the end date? Motherfucker, do you see the green and red? This chart was made for my son. This is actually my 7-year-old's fucking chart. Green is up, red is down. Do you motherfuckers need a goddamn legend for this? Sweet Jesus, right? Like, fuck's sakes.
People will still ask you tomorrow, do you think 3K BTC is happening?
It's just like, if it shows itself, I'll let you know. But right now, motherfucker, if you remember what I talked about an uptrend, what do you think is happening when it's no longer red? Come on, work with me, motherfuckers. Work with me. Been
And
doing this for a
see how
while.
there's only 275 people. We have nearly 100,000 people combined on Twitter, yet only 275 are you in here right now. So guess what side of the trade you're on if you fucking pay attention.
Right. So,
It's always going to be like that. The answers are right here, but people would rather spend time talking shit and worry about other people are doing, or get turned off because this guy has a mask on.
that's right. Go Diva. That's what's up. Appreciate you for the hot bits. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, don't fight the tide, right? Look at the fucking the emoticon for this. You know, play the direction. The market's rising, you play with the market. You know, your market's falling, you play that direction. There's no fucking
Cal
metals to break.
Toro. Cal
There's
Toro says, I don't know why more people aren't listening to it. I know why. Kaz knows
I
why.
know
And you
why.
know why too. You just don't want to admit it.
If you found yourself here, you're in the right place. We'll show you some ways to look at this shit objectively. You can make your own fucking choices. I do have to wrap up right now, but the reality is, the trend is your friend is a saying for a fucking reason, right? It takes how many ever bars are in that chart from green all the way down to the very bottom when it's red to make a high and a low. There's one high in that chart. There's one low in that chart. You have one in fucking hundreds of bars of finding it. Statistics are not on your side to be a knife catcher. So the reality is, the trend is your friend. It's easier to make money with the tide, and you don't have to catch a front or back. It lasts for a while. So don't be a fucking retard. Don't fucking take your financial, savings and plug it into the market on a dare from some jackass. That doesn't help any fucking body. It doesn't help you. And when you fuck up on that dare for having hodl strong hands and you don't have any money for Christmas for your kids last year, bro, your kids don't give a fuck if you have strong hands or not. Don't be a jackass, man. That's just stupid shit. So we'll talk more about this. We'll talk more about trends and trend lines, and we're gonna do another indicator special, also with
Tengoku, you're
Shadow
gonna have to
Burger.
wait for the next stream to get that answer.
Yeah, what's the question? I gotta
Are
run.
you
So
circumcised?
this we're not going there. I don't know why we even went there to begin with, bro.
Your
Jesus
kids
Christ.
don't care if you have strong hands or not. That's the parting words, man.
Your kid
Yo,
does not
thanks for coming
care
on.
if you got strong hands. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks for the two-part special. Definitely cool to
Yo,
do the merger of minds in this format. I like it. Like it a lot.
it's the first of many, brother.
All right, guys. So hope you enjoyed the stream and
Not the first. We've done it
try.
before.
We've done it before, but this is our new format we're gonna go with, and we're gonna keep the energy high and keep this fun to do. Try out trend
Get
lines.
used to us.
Try out these trend lines. Try out charting things with trend lines and just properly drawn trend lines. Like I said, I showed you what an uptrend was. If I forgot to tell you the polar opposite, and it's not readily obvious, a downtrend is clearly the opposite of the shit I just said. Just so that this is fucking obvious. You know what? Sometimes if I don't say shit, I know how this works, KJ. So let me just go ahead and do that, right? Your downtrend is the same thing, right? It's falling highs, falling lows, and when you chart it, and if you have like a crazy hiccup like this, right? You you don't fucking skip over it. You don't skip over it to make your trend line feel like it fits a structure that you like, because you're gonna fuck yourself longer term down the line and not have it have the interactions it's supposed to have, right? If
It's
that's
really
the
the
case,
most important thing you said on the whole stream, I
right?
think.
You do
But
not
some
leave it
people
out.
glaze over that because they missed it.
So
I'm
you're
surprised you even gave that because I've watched many of your streams and you haven't, you haven't done it on stream while I've been with you, and people will miss that, but that's extremely important. So if you're watching this, don't don't take that for granted. That's
it's
some secret shit that Kaz doesn't talk about publicly too often, and he gave it to you just now.
right. It sounds like a simple thing, but trust me, when you're fucking price forecasting onto the future, and your angles are off a small fucking amount in the near term, years out, that thing's off by fucking like margins of error that are mind blowing. They're useless, and it will fuck you. Even if you're on low time scales, out fucking 3-4 weeks from like an intraday chart will get you wrecked. You will have wrong interactions. So price is geometric, and if you respect the actual price, your geometry will be on point. So again, your kid doesn't give a fuck if you have strong hands, and don't leave out wicks. Wicks and other time frames are fucking other price structures. Just because you don't see in this particular time frame, the candle is only a fixed measure of a particular zoom factor on price. A different zoom factor means different price structures, different candles. So, think a little deeper. The candle isn't everything. It's just a representation of price and one way to do it. That will be wrapping it up for us. KJ, thanks for having me.
Hey, Rekt hour. Hey,
Wrapped hour. That was pretty good. It was a crash course in some shit. I liked it.
hey, whoa, good
So
God.
I
What
can't even fucking take
is
the
it
scroll.
good
Are you
for?
drunk, bitch? That's what how you drink the angry bitch he's drinking. You see that shit? Don't drink that shit. You
No.
turn him crazy. Raging bitch? You drank the raging bitch? The motherfucker, none of that sounds good. So,
Hey.
peace out, you guys. Z Pain, what's up? Appreciate the Twitch Prime sub. Good to have you.
What
Again, bro, we
is
have
it
280
good
views. This is
for?
our highest viewership. This is dope. You are drunk, motherfucker. You need to smoke something. Calm your ass down. Again,
Never.
guys. All right, dudes.
Be the
Had a blast,
best.
man.
Be the best.
We'll catch up again. Talk to you guys on the next one.
Peace out, guys. Have a good
Peace,
one.
everyone.